Got Angel Reese's mom. By the way, she put this out in the public space.
Angel Reese's mom just lost it completely after Caitlin Clark's latest win, and you won't believe how far she took it. Caitlin Clark stepped on the court for what should have been a quiet exhibition game, but instead, she made it a full-blown event. The arena was packed, fans couldn't stop watching, and by the end of the broadcast, 1.3 million people had tuned in. That number didn't just break records, it shattered them. And over in the Reese household, things weren't calm. Not at all. Angel Reese's mom exploded online, not because of anything Clark said, not because of anything Clark did, but because Caitlin Clark's success was now impossible to ignore. Let's take a moment to rewind. This wasn't even a regular season game, it was an exhibition, the kind of game most people barely even notice. But Caitlin Clark's debut with the Indiana Fever, it felt like the Super Bowl. While Clark was draining shots from the logo and racking up highlights, Angel Reese's preseason game had already come and gone, and hardly anyone noticed. Now here's the twist. Instead of staying silent, instead of focusing on her daughter's development, Reese's mom went full meltdown on social media.
Probably leave Angel Reese's mom in shambles at this point. Of course, she's upset.
She didn't hold back. She made cryptic posts, tweeted thinly veiled jabs at Clark's fans, and threw every kind of shade she could manage. One post read, "That certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championships. We ain't the same." But the internet wasn't having it, because the numbers don't lie, and the difference between Clark and Reese's preseason presence? It was night and day. Not only that, Caitlin Clark's game wasn't just a hit, it was a phenomenon.
A rising tide lifts all boats. She's trying to be the rising tide that lifts the boats. And there were sisters resentful of her.
People who don't even watch basketball were tuning in just to see her. Meanwhile, over at Reese's game, the seats were half empty, the buzz was non-existent, and even the camera crew seemed bored. And the frustration from Reese's mom? It just kept growing. She started blaming everything. TV bias, league favoritism, and even some imaginary conspiracy that had Reese as the real ratings queen. At one point, it sounded like she was ready to demand an investigation from the universe itself. But here's what made it worse. Clark didn't say a word. She didn't clap back. She didn't gloat. She let her game and her numbers speak for themselves.
Angel Reese was supposedly at the height of her drawing power. Thousands of empty seats.
Meanwhile, Reese's camp was doing mental gymnastics, trying to explain how this wasn't a loss, how Clark's 1.3 million viewers didn't count, or how Reese's game would have done better if only the cameras had been clearer, or the lighting was better, or maybe Mercury wasn't in retrograde. But let's be honest, Clark's performance wasn't boosted by luck or lighting. It was talent. It was star power. It was earned. And Reese's mom couldn't handle that. Let's dig deeper. This wasn't the first time Reese's mom inserted herself into the spotlight. During the NCAA season, she was already making noise. But back then, she had momentum. LSU was on top. Angel was winning. And the spotlight? It was bright. But now the tables have turned. Clark is the one dominating headlines. Clark is the one selling out arenas. Clark is the one who has WNBA broadcasts pulling numbers like never before. And Reese? She's trending because her mom can't stop tweeting. Instead of using this moment to support her daughter's growth, Reese's mom made it all about herself. She wasn't just upset, she was furious. And the tone of her posts? Not proud, not protective, petty. One day it was about attendance. The next, it was about respect. Then it was some quote about real queens not needing ratings to prove their worth. But that's the problem. The only reason anyone was talking about Reese that day was because Clark dominated the court and the screen, and Reese didn't. Let's shift gears for a second. This isn't about hating on Angel Reese. She's talented, she's tough, she has potential. But the people around her, they're turning her into a spectacle. And when the game doesn't go her way, they attack the system. Instead of looking at performance, they look for people to blame. And it's starting to show. During her preseason games, Reese was struggling. Missed layups, poor shooting, low energy. One game even looked like a G League scrimmage. The only people in the crowd? Families, friends, and a couple of confused fans who thought they were at a high school event. Compare that to Caitlin Clark's debut. Sold-out arena, national TV coverage, millions watching from home. Even people who didn't like basketball were talking about her. Sports media, mainstream media, TikTok, Instagram, Clark was everywhere. And Reese's mom? She was on social media, accusing the league of unfair treatment. Because in her world, every setback is sabotage. Every missed shot is someone else's fault. But here's the twist. The more she posts, the worse it gets. Let's talk evidence. Caitlin Clark's performance was backed by data. Field goal percentage, efficiency, and impact on viewership. She's not just popular, she's delivering. Her first exhibition game, 6 for 10 from the field. Solid defense, smart plays, fans couldn't get enough. Second game, 5 for 11. Still efficient, still composed. She didn't force anything. She didn't try to showboat. She just played basketball, and she played it well. And while Clark was quietly putting up numbers, Angel Reese was missing layups on fast breaks and arguing with referees in meaningless games. It's not about hate, it's about results. And the result was clear. Clark brought the heat. Reese brought excuses. Let's take a moment to rewind again. Angel Reese's mom wasn't always this loud. But the moment Clark began to rise, the tone changed. It wasn't just competition, it was bitterness. She went from celebrating wins to inventing losses. From hyping up her daughter to tearing others down. And people noticed. Even fans started calling it out. Saying things like, "Why is Reese's mom the one trending while Clark is doing all the work? Why isn't she letting her daughter grow through the struggle?" Because that's what it feels like, sabotage. Let's zoom out for a second. Brands are watching, sponsors are paying attention. And when they see someone like Clark drawing millions of viewers without controversy, they're getting on board. Meanwhile, Reese's brand is taking hits, slowly, quietly, noticeably. Some endorsement deals are stalling. Social media engagement is dropping, and even the media coverage is shifting from rising star to too much drama. And at the center of it all, her mom. You see, this isn't just one emotional post, it's a pattern. Every time Clark wins, Reese's mom lashes out. Every time the spotlight shifts, she tries to yank it back. But here's the truth. The more she fights it, the more obvious it becomes. This isn't about basketball anymore. It's about control. It's about image, and it's not working. Let's bring it full circle. Caitlin Clark played a preseason game, just another day for a rookie, and she turned it into a national event. Angel Reese played a preseason game, and her mom turned it into a full-blown crisis. One let the performance speak, the other couldn't stop speaking over it. So here we are. Caitlin Clark is leading her team, building a fan base, rewriting what WNBA viewership can look like. Angel Reese is on Twitter by proxy, her mom typing furiously, blaming the system, blaming the fans, blaming everything except the scoreboard. And as all of this unfolds, the ratings don't lie, the numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark didn't just win the game, she won the night. She won the screen, she won the moment. And Angel Reese's mom? She made sure we all saw exactly how far some people will go to deny reality. Because in the end, Caitlin Clark didn't have to say a word. Her game said everything.